And tell them what you told me about being the first one.
Yeah, I'm Tristan Everett, known as Twist, and we were working in the field next to the one where it went down, and I was the first one across there, but directly the special constable arrived. He helped us out of it. I was 11 years at the time, and I also had the honour of carrying the cross at the memorial service at Kirby Bedon Church, where my family were in the choir also.
And he'll be on some of the pictures that you have. Yeah. I just think it's so wonderful.
Yeah, that certainly is. Yeah. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, I'm sure.
Yeah, great, really great.
I'm David Ricks. I was 4 when the plane crashed, but I can remember pretty vividly quite a bit of it, really. We were allowed to play about in the crash for a short period of time, but I think it was later on. Hey, it's a great honour to meet the pilot. I never thought we ever would.
It's my pleasure meeting all you folks. Do you have some pieces of the?
No, my friend had the pieces. The border. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, John.
Hello, my name is John Brick. I remember the plane going over, limping on one engine, and we had the troops on the common at Bramerton, and they followed us over to where the plane had come down. And as soon as we got as far as that, they wouldn't let us go any further. And I'm only pleased to meet the gentleman who actually flew that plane and got away with it.
Well,
I'm very, very
it's
pleased.
my pleasure to meet each and every one of you gentlemen. It's something that I never realized that would happen.
I didn't think I would ever meet you, no, and I'm pleased to do so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go on, Pete.
My name is Peter Sparrow. I was 7 years old at the time. I was down on Brampton Common, and I see the plane come over. She was on about 1.5 engines, and we thought, well, that's not going very far, and it crashed roughly about 1.25 miles away in the next village of Kirby Bedon. And we sort of got up there, but the local policeman sort of sent us away because there was a bit of whatever about, and but we had a next day or so we did get round to see the plane, and at the time I was in the choir, and we had a memorial service there for the people what lost their lives, and I'm awfully overwhelmed to see this man tonight.
Well, it's my pleasure, really. You would say that the plane was in distress when it crashed.
I certainly was.
Oh, sorry.
That's one that won't go down the toilet.
I want you to.
Yeah, I've got to go. Sure, I'm playing ball. I'll see you Sunday. Nice to meet you again.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, see you Sunday.
Now I know where you are, mate, because I come over every Monday.
See you Sunday. See you, Jerry.
My name's Kenneth Perfect, and we were, like some of the others, in the harvest field, having to get the harvest in. When we saw all the planes come over and one drop away from the rest, we thought this is it, and it was, and the last thing we saw was a cloud of dust. And I went to where the crash was, but I can't remember whether that was the same day or day or two after, but I did pick this chain up, and I've kept it ever since, and I'd like to give that to you now. It's a sort of a momentum.
You know, it's more than that. It's something that means a terrific amount to me. This was the chain that drove the top turret. The operator of the turret could turn the turret completely around, and this was a chain that ran in the track, and the cogs fit into that, and it made it possible for that turret to move. This was the only place that the plane had a chain like this, so that's why I can say so definitely that that's where it came from.
Quality material as well.
And and this will have a wonderful meaning to me, really. I appreciate it
Well,
very much.
I've enjoyed sort of collecting it, as you might say, but that means a lot more to you than it does me.
Well, but at the same time, you were the owner of it. I mean, and it was yours. And,
Well, that's a pleasure to give it to you.
Well, I thank you. I thank you very much, really.
David?
That's me. I'm David Jeremy. I was playing on the pigsty when the plane came over. I didn't actually see it go down, but I realised that was short of the runway. We went down a couple of days later, and I picked up a piece of perspex, probably from the turret.
Okay.
And this gentleman will be taking it back to America with him. Right? On a lovely Sunday. Is that it?
Fine.
You'll have that.
I would look forward to see you there Sunday too.
We'll be there.
All right.
Jen Michael? With my sister down.
That's all been said, isn't it?
Not quite. Michael Brown. I think I must have been much younger than all these others because I don't remember any of them. I just followed on behind and did what they all did.
Well, you know, sometimes a loss of memory is believed that too.
Yeah, but that was 55 years ago.
Yeah,
And I was 6.
right,
All
yeah.
these seem to have been about 11.
Yeah.
So I was at top.
Yes, you were.
But
You
I
were.
think I've probably read more about you in the recent history than they ever have.
Well, and that's why your mom kept you away from the plane too.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably. But all I can remember is us having to line up beside a fence with an armed guard who told us dirty jokes.
Oh,
And it wasn't until last year I knew what the joke meant.
incidentally, this is Janet's brother. This is the one in the family of Janet's.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I've had some contact with America because, as I told you before, I have already found one chap
Yeah, that's
out there
great.
who was a
That's
father
great.
of a war
Who-
baby.
Who was at the same field then?
Yeah,
He was at
that's right.
Rackheath.
He was
Yeah.
at Rackheath and Adelbridge, and Samuel Hanna was his name.
Uh-huh.
And he still comes over and we meet.
Well, I think you did a wonderful thing getting
Well,
a hold of him.
I think so.
Yeah.
He was great to me. Same
Well,
as you are.
Well, thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? My sister's gone.
Oh, do it this way.
I'm
Yeah.
Janet Rush, and I was in the field and watched Roger's plane come down. I've wondered about him ever since, and I've searched for him ever since, and this is a great day. I'm glad he's here.
Well, this is, beyond a doubt, one of the greatest days in my life, and I say that truthfully. I've had a lot of exciting things that have happened in my lifetime. And when Janet and I first started funning with each other, I never dreamed that there'd be a time when I'd be standing here this evening like this. But thanks to you and all the great things that you've been doing, I love it.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Les Willis, and my connection with this is I was a member of the 2nd Division Memorial Trust, and I'm also interested in the 467 Farm Corps because my wife worked there during the war, lived there actually during the war at the Golden Gates.
Right.
You see the pictures in all, it's the most publicised picture probably of all the pictures of the 467.
Right.
There's the two officers coming out of the Golden Gates ready to catch a bus. And when this cropped up a few years ago, there's an article in a magazine that I take in connection with the Seething Tower Association, the 448 Farm Group. And the chairman of the parish council couldn't find the destination that you flew to on that day on the map. They were looking for it everywhere. Well, when that's something that happens, I always like to get involved in this sense. I eventually found it, wrote to them, sent them a copy, and it's in the Kirby Bedon Parish Council records of where it was, at Woodby, the airfield that you attacked near Metz,
Yeah.
on that particular day in August 1944.
Some of my records say Metz,
Yeah.
and some of them say
Say
Lobby or
Woodby,
whatever.
yeah.
And
That's right.
and so that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons too.
Most of the 467th records, if you look at the book, says Woodby, but as you say, it's only about 3 miles, 4
Yeah.
miles from Metz.
Right.
And there are two large airfields there, one at Woodby and one at Metz itself. There's also a big armaments factory, and I think you're after the old blessed lot as far as I can see. And what I'd like you to do is I've brought this along, and you can take this with you. I think you might be interested once we get into the bottom of that page. The Roy's, you can see we're advertising, not really.
Oh yes, yeah.
B24,
B24.
with the 467th
With the markings.
markings.
And I see right here.
Yeah.
You see right here on his blouse, he has a 467 badge. I think it's wonderful. Made me feel right at home when you came in.
It's a pleasure, that's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure to meet
and
you.
you get out there and you what I'm going to do, I took some pictures of the hall just recently, and I'm now doing it up, and I'm going to photocopy and send them to you.
Oh, thank you.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
Take care.